I'm finally doing my video to introduce you to little Miss Everly. So today she's 10 days old, and I'll just kind of start back from the beginning and then I'll give you a better look of her. So on Monday, April 6th, I went in for my scheduled C-section in the morning. They decided to, if you followed my story before, you know that we were worried a little bit about placenta creta, and so they did decide to do my surgery in the main OR, and it was really quite interesting, very different at the hospital because of the coronavirus right now. So they actually had no surgeries booked, and we were the only people on that whole floor, the whole OR floor. So they decided to do it there just to be safe, so that if I did happen to have a creta, they would be prepared and close to everything they needed. Luckily, the C-section went great. No complications, no creta or anything like that. So as far as the C-section itself, it was good. However, Everly had a little bit of a tough start to her life. She was born at 9:35 a.m. Hi, I'll show you that to them in a second. She was born at 9:35 a.m. and she quit breathing about a minute after she was born for probably 30 seconds. So that was terrifying because I was watching, Dave was watching, and we could see and kind of hear them, and we knew that something was wrong with her breathing. So they got her breathing again, and unfortunately she did end up having to go to the NICU. So she was there from Monday to Friday when we were finally able to go home. So that was really tough because of the COVID restrictions. Dave and I were not allowed to be in the NICU at the same time to visit her. So if I went, Dave had to leave. And if Dave was there, I had to leave. So we couldn't be in there together. They did kind of let it slide a couple of times. We ended up going in together. For her first bath, they kind of let it slide, luckily, but for the most part it was just one or the other, so that was really tough. I was discharged from the hospital on Wednesday, and they actually moved me to what they call a transition room, which was just right across from the NICU. It's basically like a hotel room. It had a little mini fridge, a microwave, and a queen-size bed and a bathroom. So it was really weird though, because they would not let Dave in the room or stay in that room with me. So because of their COVID restrictions, there was only one person allowed, and then since I was no longer in the hospital and discharged, Dave was only allowed to come to the NICU to visit her once a day for those last couple of days. So thank goodness it was only 2 more days that we were there. So I stayed there by myself for 2 nights, and luckily my C-section recovery this time around was like night and day compared to my C-section with Beckett. So when I had Beckett, I could barely get out of bed myself for the first week. I needed a lot of help. After having her, like I said, I had her at 9:35 in the morning. My surgery wasn't even done until probably close to 11. I wasn't even back in the room until probably noon or even 1 probably. And then once the spinal wore off, by 4 o'clock, I was standing up myself, getting into the wheelchair so that they could push me down to meet her, because I had not seen her. Or I didn't know really how things were going. I knew she was doing okay, but it was really stressful. So like I said, I got up with very little help, and I was moving around. I guess her being in the NICU definitely made that a little more of a priority to like get moving, because it was the only way I could go see her. So, and then I went down and saw her for the first time at 4 o'clock on April 6th, the day she was born. I mean, for the first time other than when they were working on her in the OR during my surgery. So I wasn't able to hold her. She still had all the CPAP machine on to help with her breathing, and all the stuff, the tube down the mouth and all of that. So I wasn't able to hold her, but when I went back at about 10 that night, both Dave and I were able to hold her for the first time. So that was really nice, but it was hard not holding her or being able to try nursing her until, like 13 hours after she was born. I know a lot of people, if I'd had a creta, it probably would have been a lot longer. So just grateful that we were able to hold her that soon, because I know people who have really early babies and stuff, it's a lot longer before they can. But yeah, it was not a great experience, but overall it was okay. It was just very different with, like I said, with all the restrictions. They wanted you like in the hospital as little as possible, but then when your baby's in the NICU, they can't really do much about it. So that was kind of her start. So now I will show you little Miss Everly. Bria is her name. And she's just teeny tiny. Hey, Ev. Let's see if we can wake you up and show you eyes. Let's show them your eyes. As soon as you burp her, she wakes up. You'll wake up? You'll just say hi. So she's a lot smaller than her brother Beckett was. Beckett was 9 pounds 1 ounce when he was born. Everly was 6 pounds 10 ounces, but that was with all of the NICU equipment on. So we're thinking she was probably more like 6 pounds 8 ounces or so. That's a lot of moaning. Hey, that's a lot of noises. So we're thinking probably more like 6'8", and then she did drop quite a bit. She was not super interested in nursing. She has a really good latch, but food and nursing and eating was just not really a priority for her. She would rather sleep. So it's not easy to just get her to eat if she doesn't want to. Beckett pretty much would eat anytime. So she did drop down to 5 pounds 15 ounces before we left, but she has slowly been gaining it back. We went to the doctor a couple of days ago and she was only at 6 pounds, so she had only gained a few ounces in those first 3 days home. But we went again today to check, and she was about 6.5 pounds, so probably close to 6 pounds 8 ounces. So she gained a lot this last 3 days, which is good. So she's pretty much back at her birth weight, which they're happy about because they like to see that usually around a week. So it took her a little longer, but still not bad. So we're happy with that. She is jaundiced, but not enough to go under the light, and she's a lot better. These last couple of days, she's been a lot better, a lot less orange than she was. Hey, Everly. Oh, it's a big yawn. Are you gonna make up? She is super content. She rarely cries. The only thing she really does not like is to be cold, like most babies, but to be naked, to get her butt changed, or to just change clothes is about the only time she gets really mad and screams. Also, she's not a fan of baths yet, but she is getting a little bit better. We do bath her every night as of now. Our pediatrician last time said that was a good thing to do to get them into routine, and it's actually helped her skin a ton. She had a really bad newborn rash when she was born, but it's pretty much cleared up now, so that's good. I love dressing her. It's been so much fun, even though the newborn stuff is like swimming on her. These are like the smallest socks that I have and can find. Her feet are like the skinniest feet I've ever seen. She has super long toes and fingers, right, Ev? So that, what else? Oh, so she was 6 pounds 10 ounces, probably 6 pounds 8 ounces. She was about 20 inches long. And once she came home, so the reason she had to stay in the NICU for those days was she had a lot of fluid on her lungs, which was why she was struggling to breathe. And then when that kind of resolved and she went on room air, she started having some oxygen issues and drops in her oxygen, like probably 4 or 5 times a night. So they wanted to wait until she went 24 hours without an oxygen drop. She didn't. The last night before we were allowed to go, she did have 2 drops that night, but she recovered from them on her own, whereas before the nurses would have to like sit her up and help her kind of start breathing again to get her oxygen back up, but she was recovering on her own. So and they were less than 10 seconds, so they did let us go. Beckett, when we got home, was super happy and proud to meet her. Obviously, we missed him a ton. Dave was coming back most of the days because he wasn't allowed to stay at the hospital anymore, so he did see him, but I didn't see Beckett from Monday to Friday, and that was my first time away from him, so that was hard. But thank God for FaceTime. We FaceTimed like many times a day, probably 3 times a day. But when we got home, he just wanted to hold her and kiss her and love on her, and he was so gentle and sweet, and he still is. He's had a few moments where he's got a little emotional if I'm nursing her or something and he wants my attention. He tries really hard to hold back his tears, but he's already gotten better just in the last couple of days. He's more used to her. He'll go and try to help her and always wants to give her kisses. So yes, her name, Everly, we don't really know where we originally heard it or got it. It's not a super common name, although it's getting to be a lot more common now. And Bria obviously is one of our angel babies, our last baby that we lost to short rib polydactyly syndrome, and our last angel baby. So we love the name, obviously, and she was our only girl, Bria, so we decided to use Bria as Evie's middle name. So we also call her Evie, Evs, Evie Bear, lots of nicknames for her. Beckett likes to call her Evie Bear, which is really cute. But she, like I said, is super content. She's eating better, she's nursing well. Newborn pictures and Fresh 48 pictures were all canceled because of the virus. You're not usually so loud. Because of the virus, so we had to attempt to do them ourselves. So we spent like 3 different days trying to get some newborn pictures, and that was really interesting. Here, Ev, you open your eyes. You got eyes? Usually a burp helps you open your eyes, huh? There you go. So, there. She's tired. It's hard being a newborn. Yeah, all the bows has been so fun. But yeah, I think we got enough good newborn pictures. I mean, we can only do so much. We have a good camera and Dave's really good at taking pictures. We don't have like really great editing, obviously, but when you have a good camera, and we did more lifestyle type pictures, not wrapped ones, because clearly wrapping and posing in newborn photography is not easy. It's something that you have to learn and work at a lot. So mostly just did like ones on the bed as a family and things like that. So maybe I'll try to put together like a slideshow or something to post here on my YouTube. So make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel and get notifications for any new videos that I post. I'll try to post updates of her and of course Beckett along the way as they're growing up, but she is super sweet and so tiny. I know she's gonna grow really fast, and that's also sad. I know I do want her to grow, and it's exciting to watch her grow, but I also love her being this small because we never got really a small baby. When we had Beckett, it was kind of like just having a toddler right away, even though, to be honest, at 9 pounds he still seemed tiny, so she just seems extra small. But her temperament is so much better so far. I know she's still a newborn and sleeps a lot, but she's already much more content than Beckett was. He was a very spirited baby, not very happy for the first 6 months. So hopefully she stays like this. And her hair, I guess we didn't talk about her hair. Her hair is awesome. Let's show off your head of hair. She was born with it. You know, it's already, I think, lightened quite a bit. It was like pretty much black when it came out, and she's only 10 days old and it's already lightened to like a dark brown. But it's super cute. I love it. I just love hair on the babies, right? So I think that's it. If you have any questions for me, I hope I didn't leave any major things out. I'm feeling good 10 days out, other than my scar is really itchy. It's still covered. They put like this honeycomb thing on it that's supposed to help reduce scarring, because I had a lot of scar tissue last time that they tried to fix, so I don't even know what it looks like under there. But I get to take it off at 2 weeks, so on Monday, thank goodness, because I'm about to scratch it off right now. But otherwise, I'm feeling good. Pretty much off most of the pain meds, the odd time I take Tylenol or Advil, but otherwise it's been a way easier recovery than last time. I don't know if that's because this was scheduled and my one with Beckett was emergency after laboring for 24 hours probably makes a big difference. But overall, I can't complain. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching and coming to meet Everly. She is so sweet. Nice noises. Are you gonna open your eyes before you go? Oh, there we go. She looks a lot like her brother, Beckett. I think they're gonna continue to look a lot alike as they grow up because some of the pictures, I can't believe how alike they look. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can see how teeny tiny she is. Actually, I should just show you her foot in comparison to my thumb so you can get an idea, because it doesn't actually look like she's that small, but when you look at my hand, she's really small. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and we will check back in soon. Bye, guys.